No, no.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Spectrum Talk. My name is Ruby Jones, and I'm excited to welcome you to this special live presentation brought to you by Denver Urban Spectrum. This program will feature the 2024 Democratic National Convention. My name is Ruby Jones, and I'm with a live report by Denver Urban Spectrum correspondent Tracy Winchester. Tracy is a Colorado Democratic Delegate, and she's reporting live in Chicago from the Democratic National Convention. Yesterday, she gave us a rundown of her busy schedule during the DNC, and today she's back with an update about last night's events, featuring former US President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama. She'll also tell us about her experience today, day 3 of the DNC, and introduce us to the Mayor Pro Tem of Thornton, Colorado, Ms. Karen Bigelow, Colorado State Representative for District 32, Mr. Manny Rutinel, and another Colorado Democratic Delegate, Ms. Khadija Haynes. Tracy, last night's speeches by the Obamas were so powerful and so inspiring. Tell us what it's like to be there to experience everything firsthand.
Thanks, Ruby. It is great to be here at the United Center once again. Last night was emotional. It was energetic. It was spiritual. And it was just downright funny from the Obamas when they gave their closing speeches at the convention last night. I think we have a stellar lineup here at the convention for the last 3 days. And then today, we're going to have the governor from Minnesota, Tim Walz, and it's going to be dynamic again. I have with me two guests, Ruby. I wanted to bring them in from the Colorado delegation. To my far right is our family legacy here in the Denver area, Khadija Haynes. Khadija has been in a Denver native, and we have been talking and sharing a lot of different notes with regards to the convention. We've had an exciting day today as well. And to my immediate left is a state representative from House District 32, and he is new to the scene. And I want to introduce to you, did I say it right? Manny Rutinel. So, man, thank you so much for being here. And basically, I'm going to ask you all to share your thoughts. But, Ruby, did you have a question before we started getting into this?
I didn't know, Tracy. You go ahead. If you have any updates about what you've been doing for the beginning of the day, that would be great to hear. But essentially, anything that you all are taking away from this exciting and historic convention, I'm all ears.
Well, I would like to ask Khadijah, what did you think of the Obama speech? And do you think that that was the most riveting keynote speeches from last night?
The Obamas, plural. I think that Michelle she changed the tone for the country last night. Let me just be plain. She came out swinging with a glove on, a soft, nice glove, but she used it appropriately. She smacked, she smacked Donald Trump so hard that I think we're gonna have to look hard to find his cheeks. Um, and then President Obama came out right after that, and he smacked the other side. So that phrase, that wonderful phrase, "turn the other cheek," they took turns. Okay, they took turns on the other cheek. Um, but her grace, Tracy, her eloquence, her ability to connect with us, to talk about her experience, to talk about the hurt that she experienced as a Black woman in the White House, and the support that we are going to have to muster, bring forward to help Kamala get through what she's going to get through, was just important for everyone in that seat and everyone in the television audience to hear.
Very, very well said, Khadijah. Thank you for that. And what would you think, State Representative? Now, what did you think about last night's speeches?
I was emotional the whole way through. Just seeing the Obamas again just got me super excited. One line comes to mind to me that really stuck with me, and it was about how some people in this country will never know the affirmative action of generational wealth. And I think that's the sort of phrase that once you hear it, it's hard to unhear. And I think it flips the script on what a lot of people think about welfare programs and things of that nature. When we know that so many folks in America, like Donald Trump, for instance, were born with an immense amount of wealth and were given a head start in life economically. And so I think about what that means for our country, the sort of narrative that we're trying to put out there, that we are here for everyone. We're trying to uplift all boats. And I thought Michelle Obama and Barack Obama did an amazing job at highlighting what Democrats are all about in that way. The other thing that I'll add is I had almost forgotten how hilarious Obama is. Like, he is just so funny. His delivery is incredible. I don't know what it is. There's something about the guy that you can't look away. You can't stop listening. You just wanna. I almost just want to have him in my ear all day long. You know, it's one of those situations. So I'm a huge fan, and it was incredible.
Well, it was interesting, the fact that when Michelle Obama came out, everyone stood up and no one sat down.
Oh, Tracy, I think we're having some connectivity
The
issues.
one thing that Michelle did tell us is that we do have to
Do something. We have to do something. And it was inspiring the way she made everybody be a part of that phrase and got us in the call and response that she, so we know that we have to do something.
Unfortunately, we lost a little bit of what you said there. It cut out when you said that everyone stood up when Mrs. Obama came onto the stage. So I'm assuming that you meant that nobody sat down for the rest of either speech. Is that right?
correct. Yeah.
Wow, that must have just been so electric. I know the first night was incredible to watch, but that second night and Mr. Rutinel, like you said, just having them in the room again, that excitement and that feeling of hope and inspiration, it was palpable. And the quote that you brought up that you mentioned about the affirmative action of generational wealth, that gave me goosebumps because that's so relevant and just so fitting and true. Now, what all are you looking forward to seeing this evening?
Well, the governor and his wife will be the keynote speeches today. And so I'm not quite sure what he's going to say because the transcript hasn't been released yet. I haven't seen it for sure. But I do believe it's going to be inspiring. I think he's going to take a whole different approach because who can compete with the Obamas? Okay. I mean, so,
Right.
you know, so he's got to come out to be authentic. He's got to be himself. He's got to be the coach. He's got to be, you know, the governor that was able to be a teacher for so many years before he entered that type of service, public service. And so it's going to be an interesting night. I do want to say we had a chance this afternoon to go to several events. There were two events that my partner over here, my partner in crime, the Mayor Pro Tem, Karen Bigelow, we went to two events that featured all of the women governors and the women senators currently in the United States Senate, and of course all of the, you know, the 50 United States. It was powerful, and it was all about supporting each other. It was talking about making sure we have the money behind it to elect these women into office, that we have to change the culture of this country. And by doing that, we have to put our money behind our words in order to get these women in office. But it was very inspiring. And any thoughts that you have, Khadija, because you were there?
It was amazing to watch the line of women. They were each given 1 minute. First of all the women were within 1 minute. Okay, so that way, and the theme was what brings you joy. And so many of them talked about what brings them joy is the whole feeling of hope and happiness that Kamala is using in this campaign. One of them said that they saw a new hat that said, "Make America Happy Again." And that was like, yes, that's what we want. We want leaders who inspire and lift us up, not make us fearful for our lives, our livelihoods, for our children, our girls every day. So that was one of my big takeaways from the meeting. And thank you for letting us tag along.
Yeah, that was a lot. And it's our Mayor Pro Tem who was able to make sure that we were able to attend. I'm gonna take off my t-shirt here. I'm gonna take off my jacket to show you my t-shirt. My t-shirt is the one that's been given out to all of the Colorado delegates and have the word delegate on the back here. And then while I stand up here, I want the mayor to come over here to give you her thoughts about today's event.
Wonderful. I love those shirts. They're beautiful blue.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Hi.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I would tell you that the electing women event this morning was absolutely the most inspiring event for someone like myself who may want to continue to run for elected office and to make us feel like women are leading and we're leading the way. We're showing what can be done when you put women in office. And it was absolutely an amazing event. After that, Tracy and I went to a luncheon for all of the Democratic mayors and leaders from different cities. And again, it was absolutely amazing. We were truly inspired by what's going on. And not only were they women, but a lot of women from every kind of background you can imagine. And so it was really so inspiring and emotional. It was very emotional. So just, it's been an incredible week. And today was icing on the cake.
That sounds not only like so much fun, but it sounds extremely impactful. Denver Urban Spectrum has been around for 37 years. It's a woman-owned publication, and the amount of work that we do to amplify voices and really highlight diversity within Colorado's communities of color, I can only imagine being in that environment with people from around the country and so many diverse voices and stories being amplified, and not only amplified, but unified. With the goal of, like Ms. Haynes said, making America happy again, inspiring hope, bringing everyone together. So I really appreciate that. And I really love hearing all of your experiences. What are some things that you're taking away directly from the last 3 days that you want to bring back to Colorado to really invigorate our landscape and get us ready for this election?
Yeah, I'll chime in here and I'll take a little bit of what Khadija was talking about earlier about joy and happiness. I think what I've been seeing over the last few days here at the DNC, but also over the last few campaign stops that Governor Tim Walz have been doing, is the amount of joy that we're trying to put out into the world right now. I think in 2020, when Trump was running for re-election, fear was maybe an appropriate response to how we were reacting to the Trump presidency. And it was effective. We came out in huge numbers and we voted. But I think folks can get tired of running on fear for very long. And it's true, we should be fearful of Donald Trump. But what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are doing is setting up an amazing vision for what our future could look like. And Tim Walz in particular, which is something that I'm really excited about for tonight, Tim Walz is incredible at joking around and making you feel like you're just sitting around the couch with somebody, just laughing and having a good time as if he's like your dad or something, a coach, whatever it may be. So I'm excited if he brings that energy tonight to continue on this like happy, joking, hopeful message that I think we're putting out into the world. And I think just to tie it all back, I want us to bring that back to Colorado.
I love that.
I wanted to mention that he spoke to the Women's Caucus yesterday, and he is so authentic. Everything that he stands for is relatable to anybody that he's speaking to. And so he really, and he's got amazing energy when he speaks. So he just appeals to the masses. And I wanted to mention one of the hashtags that came out of last night, joyful warriors. So as we're moving forward into what we're going to do for the next 76 days, we're warriors. We're going to war to make sure that we elect the correct president of the United States, Kamala Harris, and we are bringing joy to that race.
And on that
I
note,
love that. I love that approach. The joyful approach is usually the better one. Love that.
so Ruby, right now, the governor of Colorado is getting ready to speak on stage. And so we have been requested, mandated to come to the come to the floor. So we're going to wrap it up here. But thank you for giving us an opportunity to give you our thoughts and impressions of this historic moment in time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby.
Of course. Thank you all so much for being here. And thank you all for tuning in to this special presentation of Spectrum Talk. Be sure to subscribe to the Denver Urban Spectrum YouTube channel and meet us back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. for another look at the final night of the 2024 Democratic National Convention. We'll see you next time.